There were fireworks at the UN General Assembly yesterday when Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad gave his address. But the main event will be today. Palestinians will ask for recognition as a full member state of the UN. After the minutes, Frank Ucciardo has details.
Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's speech at the United Nations provoked massive anti-Iran protests outside the UN and within the General Assembly chamber itself.
If some European countries still use the Holocaust after 6 decades as the excuse to pay fine or ransom to the Zionists, should it not be an obligation upon the slave masters or colonial powers to pay reparations to the affected nations?
His remarks caused an exodus of more than 30 countries, including 27 members of the European Union nations, who walked out during his speech. And as expected, Ahmadinejad used the bulk of his address to lash out at the United States, accusing it of using the September 11th terrorist attacks as an excuse for attacking Iraq and Afghanistan and to assure Israel's survival.
Who used the mysterious September 11th incident as a pretext to attack Afghanistan and Iraq, killing, injuring, and displacing millions in 2 countries with the ultimate goal of bringing into its domination the Middle East and its oil resources.
You know, it's getting to the point where it's hard to reason with them.
Former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Bill Richardson, says we need to be concerned about Iran's refusal to halt its nuclear enrichment program, a topic that its president avoided in his speech and one that has provoked 4 rounds of UN sanctions.
They say they're going to cooperate in disclosing enriched uranium, and then they don't do it. You can't have an international system and an outlaw country saying they're not going to abide. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a viable international multilateral UN system. So the sanctions have to be increased.
Meanwhile, the bigger concern at the UN now is the collision course between the U.S. and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, who plans to submit an application to the Security Council for statehood, despite pressure from President Barack Obama to scrap that application and accept a compromise plan and resume direct talks with Israel.
But I think the president was right in seeking a compromise, maybe observer status. Let's wait on this. But this is a train wreck. This is a train that's moving very fast. And in the end, I believe that the key is still UN issues should not be handling the Middle East. It should be the United States as a broker with Britain, with a small group of countries, the Israeli-Palestinian peace process, and not settle this at the UN. That's the danger.
A U.S. veto in the Security Council is almost certain, and the only option then is if the Palestinians win a 2/3 majority vote in the General Assembly, where they can upgrade their observer status to a non-member state. Terrell?
What are the odds of that?
Well, pretty good actually, because the General Assembly is dominated by a lot of Islamic and Arab state members. So it seems like it's pretty sure it's going to happen.
All right, Frank Ucciardo of Up to the Minute. Frank, thank you so much. Appreciate it.